Hello. Hi, Tootsie. Hi, Xander. Hi, Young Monk. Hi, Tyson. Hi, Rasadori. For a second, I thought it said, oh my god, what is that rice? Oh my gosh, guys, what is that rice type? It's like, risotto? For a second, I thought your name was risotto. I guess. Titsy, Crazy Kid, Tion, Surf Florida. And hi Ruin, hi Richie, hi Jelly, hi Zin. Welcome in everyone. There's a like your opponent's win percentage and your opponent's win percentage, which are tiebreakers when people have the same points. So it's essentially trying to gauge like how hard your run through was. Is it a pasta? It might be a pasta. Holy crap, I have a little bit of a sore throat today. Guys. I'm just quickly getting everything set up. Give me 1 second. So how's everyone's day? I'm really excited about today's top 32. We have so much diversity in that group. So yeah. The tiebreak, well, the points aren't random. You go against players who are the same score as you. And then the opponent's win percentage, I guess you don't have like a lot of control over. But if you win all your games early, you'll normally have a higher win percentage than those who lose their games early. But the resistance is is based off your opponents. Definitely not random. I definitely understand you don't have much control over it, but it's how Pokemon does it in general. So if you do an official tournament, they'll probably have the same tiebreakers as well. Let me sorry guys, I'm just double checking that I have everything correct. Oh, and it is not popping. Okay. Oh no, Young Mong, I'm sorry that you haven't been feeling good. That's not good. Hello guys. How is everyone doing today? I'm super excited for today's stream. Top 32 is going to be so much fun. So here we are in our cute little ballerina outfit. Thank you, I appreciate that, Young Mong. I try to take photos. For the last hour and a half, I have tried to take photos. But yeah. What determines your win rate to begin with? You winning or losing your round determines it, Agumon. You winning or losing determines your win rate. I'm not sure what you mean. Hi Agumon, hi Sleepy. Welcome in. Hi King. Hi guys. So we are officially live for today's stream. I'm super excited. We have a really interesting top 32 today. We have this awesome, you see on the top, Charizard versus an Arcanine that did just so well yesterday. So cool to see, honestly. We also have a number of Mewtwo's, a number of Pikachus, which are still really cool to see, but obviously we've seen them in weeks prior. We also have a Greninja-Mewtwo that is in 9th place. I do not know how that works, but I'm so excited to see how it goes today. We also have a number of Arcanine Moltres. We had one last week in top 32. We do have a couple of Charizards as well, some Articuno-Greninjas, and a Starmie Articuno. So we're going to have a very interesting tournament. I played in tournaments when I was X year, but my win rate was too low. So your win rate is still this. I think you're talking about your tiebreakers, Agumon. Maybe you're talking about, maybe you're specifically talking about, like, there's not a win rate here. There's an opponent's win rate. If you're talking about this, the opponent's win percentage, it's the percentage of wins your opponent has. trapped in a castle guarded by a dragon. Oh no, will someone save me? Hi, Kronos. Hi, Fingar. Fingar is the Greninja-Mewtwo EX, by the way, guys. For those who are here, Fingar is, I believe, unless you guys just have very similar names, is the Greninja-Mewtwo EX, which is going to be really interesting to watch today. I'm super, super, super excited about that. Ron, you're running a Frostmoth Hypno Control deck. That's interesting. So next week's tournament is capped. Yes, Jimmy. Next week's tournament is going to be a capped. I do want to go on and I want to pin a message about that in the chat. So let me quickly get that up so that so that everybody knows it. But next Ursiiday's weekly. Thank you so much, Mr. J. Mr. J, you gotta chill out, by the way. Just saying. For some of the stuff you're saying to people. Yeah, the Charizard Growlithe is #1. So I'm super excited to see how it goes. Let's see. Crazy deck, yeah, we're gonna see the deck in 1 second. I'm currently quickly, Doodles, are you coming to the hangout tonight? I'm quickly setting up this can someone exclamation mark tournament for me, actually? Can someone exclamation mark tournament for me? What'd you do? Thank you, Young Long. That's that way I can go and grab the link. Happy link address. Nice. And then I'm just gonna pin this. So that everybody can see that. So yeah, if you guys are wanting to play next week's tournament, do go ahead and sign up. I know we had a little bit of some problems this tournament. And then first couple of rounds, we had a lot of people, we had a little bit of some problems there. So please go ahead and sign up for next week's tournament, guys, if you are willing, if you're wanting to play in it. I am very excited for next week's tournament. And I'm hoping to find a lot of... It happens, though. It happens. I only say it to you because I know you're a community member, Mr. J. But it happens sometimes as well. Yeah, so go on and sign up for that next week's tournament, guys. We are going to be hard capping it next week and until we're able to get these tournaments running smoothly again. And so please go on and sign up. We already have about 461 signups. So that is potentially going to be, you know, already half of those players registered. Obviously, you have still a whole week to decide your deck list. You have a whole week to decide some of those other pieces. But go on and get your spot saved. And so, yeah, and even if it does fail, guys, go on and continue to, you know, sign up. A lot of people, I'm sure, are going to just, like, not show up. So you are, you know, are free to go on and go ahead. So we do not have any Dragonites in top 32. It does go all the way down to here. I am really interested to see what happens. Yeah, no, it happens. It happens. As I said, it happens. I am super excited to see what happens with today's, because I feel like the meta for this top 32 is just so diverse in comparison to some of those top 32s we've had in the past. So we've had a lot. Last week we did have 2 Starmies, and definitely not effortless, Sean, but thank you, I appreciate it. We had 2 Starmies, a Charizard, not Charizard, Arcanine, Moltres, but this week is just even more diverse to me, guys. We have 1 Starmie EX Articuno, we have 2 Articuno-Greninjas, we have a Greninja-Mewtwo EX. In first place right now, we have a Charizard EX Arcanine EX, which is absolutely insane. And obviously, we do have a number of Charizards, as we actually have 2 Charizard EXs and Arcanine EXs. We have a couple of those Arcanine Moltres I just mentioned earlier, a couple Charizard Moltres, and then obviously we do have a number of Mewtwo's and Pikachu's. But I just think it's so cool here to see exactly what these players are choosing to run. We can briefly look at Hayato's list here. He's running 2 Charizard 2-2-2 line for that Charizard Charmeleon Charizard. He's running 2 Moltres EX, and he is only yeah, no, it's on purpose. It's on purpose, young one. That's how you have a day 2 in this. He is though running 1 Growlithe and 2 Arcanine, which I think is really cool. So it keeps that same chance of running into your Arcanine as if you were running a 2-2 line. But that Growlithe only having 1 decreases the chances of you starting with that Growlithe, decreases how much it offsets the changes of that Moltres being the first Pokemon in the active. It offsets your chance of, instead of having a 33% chance you start Moltres, it's still going to be a 40% chance you start Moltres. It decreases the starting chance for sure, Clyde. But that being said, it's only 1 Growlithe, like I was mentioning, which means instead of it decreasing it to a 33% chance you start Moltres, you are still able to run an extra card, and it's only a 40% chance you're going to start Moltres or Charmander instead of that Growlithe. That being said, it does seem that this could be really interesting because, 1, Arcanine sets up pretty fast. You only need 1 evolution, and you will not decrease you won't lose energies. It also can one-shot, especially, well, we don't run Giovanni here, but one-shot most of those Pikachu Pokemon, meaning that it's able to capitalize on that advantage against Pikachu, similar to how Arcanine Moltres does. Meanwhile, if you need to do more than 120 damage, such as if you're going into like a Zapdos, if you're going into a Mewtwo EX, you still have that Charizard EX as well that you can set up, which does also counter those Mewtwo EXs that we've seen continue to be played. I think it's definitely very, very smart, but I'm not sure you really, I think because of the Charizard, you don't need the Geo as much. So I definitely see here why they are doing both, and I'm really excited to watch how Hayato plays this week. Or this week during the top 32. I'm hoping to see some really crazy and awesome gameplay. We have 2 Arcanine and Charizards in that top 32, and only 5 of them even played in the tournament. So that being said, that is a gigantic conversion rate from being a 5 out of 1,600 to 2 out of 32. Absolutely insane, and it's gonna be so cool to see how these games play out. And well, there's 2 Arcanines, as I'm saying, Clyde. It's not just 1. There's 2 Arcanines. That being said, however, it does look like Hayato will be going off against a Starmie Articuno, which let's check out how this deck has played against some of these different fire decks. So let's check it out here, guys. Let's see. Versus that Charizard EX, Moltres EX, Starmie Articuno does have a almost 59% win rate. Versus, however, that Arcanine Moltres is actually only got a 42% win rate into Arcanine Moltres. It did not, however, yesterday go into an Arcanine Charizard. That being said, though, it does look like the change between fighters of that Arcanine or that Charizard does affect its win rate. There obviously were very few Arcanines that it went against, only 7 different matches versus that 39 matches versus Charizard EX. But we'll have to see how these different fighters really change the gameplay, and if playing both do help to keep Starmie Articuno in check. Starmie Articuno definitely not secret compared to this one, but it is great to see how these games are really going to be playing out today. I'm so excited. Next, guys, let's check out that Greninja-Mewtwo EX. There's only one player who played this tournament that played the Greninja-Mewtwo EX. It is mainly a Greninja line, only a single Mewtwo EX and 2 Kangaskhan. But that being said, it was basically a 100% conversion rate to the top 32, which is going to be so cool to see today how it plays out. So let's see. It had a 90% win rate. So yeah. Meanwhile, this Greninja-Mewtwo ranking 7th then goes against, can someone do that math for me? 7th is going to be going against 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. Doesn't 7 go into 26? Wait, why are you saying 12, Raymond? Wait, what do you mean by 12? I'm confused. Yeah, that's what we wanted to talk about for a second here. I think it plays against 26, right? 7th place? Okay, I was like, wait, did I just like completely ruin my math? Yeah, I think it goes against 26. I could be wrong about that. And obviously it is going to change who it does end up. So, if you're 7th, you should be going against 26th place, right? In a single LM bracket. I think 7th goes into 26. Okay, so I wanted to check real quick what 26 is, and 26 is a normal Mewtwo EX and Gardevoir. So I wanted a really quick look at this list. We are gonna see here that Froakie, that Frogadier, but let's see its different matchups. And it's played against so many Pikachus. It's played against so many Pikachus, guys. Oh my god. That being said, I am like so confused actually by this, but it's really cool to see. So I'm really happy to watch it go and see how it does play out today. That being said, though, it did lose against one Pikachu. It was able to beat 2 different Mewtwo EXs, even in Charizard. So potentially, we are going to see that Greninja do well against that Mewtwo EX, but we'll have to see how it does end up playing today. So let's see, guys. What's another fun one to check out? We do have 2 Articuno EXs and Greninjas as well. Only 12 players played this deck. You hope so, Curry? I'm confused, but it worked. It worked. So what can I say? 12 Articuno EXs and Greninjas, and 2 of them did make it into our top 32 here, guys. Let's see exactly. So this one is going to be 11th, which it's going to be, so 25, 24, 23, 22, I believe, going against 22. Raven, which one are you playing? So 22, that Articuno-Greninja is going to be going into that Charizard EX and the other Charizard EX and Arcanine EX that is going to be in that top 32. Nice, Raven. I thought you only... anyway, I'm not going to make that joke, but that'd be a fun one to try out for sure. I'm excited for the Arcanine Charizard, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I'm probably gonna play whatever first place is today. By the way, we playing Pico in the Hangout today. Yeah, Doodles, we're gonna finish up Pico Park. For those who don't know, by the way, if you are subbed to, I guess, either channel, though I have not started the subs on the YouTube yet. If you are subbed to either channel, like either the YouTube or the Twitch, which we have not started the YouTube, so it's mainly Twitch, we're gonna be playing Pico Park tonight in the Discord. It starts in about 10 minutes. I was a Bulbasaur girl, because Bulbasaur does well against the ground. It does well against, members on YouTube, not subs on YouTube, my bad. If it does well into the water, into the Misty team, and then like it's not the worst against Lieutenant Surge. So I always played Bulbasaur. Yeah, exactly. Bulbasaur is so good for the first couple of gems. So whenever I played Gen 1, I would always go Bulbasaur. I'm gonna announce that we are 10 minutes out. Okay. Well, Xander, if you're sub to the channel, you can always show up. Interesting, interesting. The match is starting in about 9 minutes now. I just put another announcement in the Discord. The top 32 ends in 10 minutes. I'm very excited for today's games. So we're gonna have to see how this ends up breaking out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Not even half of 32 is Mewtwo EX. So very cool to see. Let's see here. So I'm so excited to see how this goes. Okay, guys. The matches start in about 8 minutes, Sleepy. 8 minutes. So we are almost about to go. It'll be a couple more minutes now, and then we will get started into our top 32. That'd be exciting, Mr. J. That'd be fun. Guard would be a good magic that's slower. Pika seems bad, though. I mean, Fingar went against so many Pikachus yesterday, it looks like. So I'm not really sure that the problem is the Pikachus. Like, check out these, like, let me go check, bring it up again. But he went against so many Pikachus yesterday. It's definitely a really, really interesting deck and really cool to see. Okay. That's a baby Mewtwo. It is not a baby Mewtwo. It's a Mewtwo EX. It's a Mewtwo EX. Wait, what's gonna be on merch? Yeah, so this deck, it runs a bit of the Mewtwo EX. I'm really excited to see how it goes. I want to see, I'm assuming so, Raven, but I don't really know. I have no clue. We'll have to see how it goes. We'll have to see how it goes. Oh, John, thank you. I just saw it now. I'm so sorry, guys. Chat's moving a little bit faster than normal. Greninja attack is a card if not. Well, you'll have to perfect it tomorrow, Raven. You have to perfect it. Okie dokie. Let's see. So, okay, let's see if there's any other interesting ones I want to check out. I do want to see if this Arcanine list is the same exact one, because I saw some were also running less Charmanders earlier. So if you check out the, let's see here, where is it? Standings. If you check out just the list, you can also see the cards people are running. So you can see in one of the 5 decks, somebody is only playing, yeah, I have it on purpose, since we don't have any sound. And so one person is only running 1 Charmander in their list. But obviously they did not place as well, so we'll have to see how those games do end up going. Let's see, guys. Let's see. I'm just making sure we have everything ready for today. We are going to be starting our top 32 in about 4 minutes. 4 minutes. So I'm very excited for that. Some of these guys are running red cards, some are running potions, but only one. It does look like the card that you swap for that extra Growlithe, or that one less Growlithe, is a little bit of a swap up between different decks. So really cool to see, though. Very, very cool to see. We'll have to watch what ends up coming out with it. And let's see actually what the differences are between these two lists. We had that one red card, one Sabrina, one potion in Hayato's list. But what about the other one? The other one is running one red card, one Sabrina, one Giovanni. So it is really interesting to see these like small differences between the two decks. And so let's see how that goes. Anywho. One second. 3 minutes left till we start seeing people. I can't talk right now, Grandma. I can't talk right now. Top 32 starts about 3 minutes, and then we'll see where it goes from there. So yeah. The cash prize for this tournament is a 400 USD tournament. It is completely free to join. We have an awesome sponsor, XP Collect, who puts up the 400 USD prize pool every single week. We are so appreciative that they support our community and put one pocket the way that they do. They definitely don't have to. It's a very new game, and it is, you know, they do so much for the community by helping support us with this prize pool, ! So, sponsor, so you guys can check them out. They are a card game store that sells a lot of different games, but they do a lot of different pre-releases and stuff like that for Pokemon. You can order any of your pre-orders through them on their website. And I think they already have like Prismatic up if you guys want to go on, if you need somewhere to get your cards from. So check them out for sure, guys. I feel like this is definitely not unheard of in normal TCG Stellar. Didn't people kind of do this with, I guess maybe it is all, I guess it is kind of, I thought for some reason that I've seen a couple of these, but maybe I'm just wrong. I could definitely just be wrong. We have about 1 minute now until top 32 is going to be beginning. Give me one moment. Let me just check it. Give me 1 second. I'm just double checking on top 32. And then I will get those live. Okie dokie, hi Implicit. But yeah. Let's see. Oh God, my grandma just left me a voicemail. I'm worried. Not like actually worried, but like, I'm sorry, Grandma. I can't answer right now. I'm casting a Pokemon Pocket tournament, or will be very shortly, but I cannot answer right now. I mean, kind of jokingly. Not like actually worried, but like, yeah, kind of jokingly. So yeah, guys, let me just check a couple more things. We are gonna be starting in just a couple minutes here. Oh yeah, there's another tournament at 1 p.m. So games are taking a little bit of time to finish out. And then I'm gonna go on and get that started. We are gonna be starting in just a couple minutes here. Oh yeah, there's another tournament. I'm gonna give them like an extra minute or two before I pair the top 32. Oh, am I echoing? Oh, I am. Thank you, Becca. You're the best. You are the best, buddy. I appreciate you. One second. Okay. I'm gonna go on and... No, it's not on purpose. Okay, let me get it going. I'm gonna go on and pair that top 32 now, guys. And so top 32 is officially paired. Let me just quickly get that up. We can check that out over here. We have that top 32 here, guys. And I do need to quickly send out messages into each chat. Oh, let me announce here as well. Okay. Just quickly dropping this message in everywhere. Just getting everything ready real quick, guys. Sorry. I mean, one moment. Okay, guys. We are almost ready to begin and watch some top 32 here. Okay. No, this is no cosplay. Just looking like this for fun. so let me find us a game to start. And then we can get into our top 32 here, which is going to be so exciting. Quickly. Let me just find us one here, guys. They have not started yet. Oh no. We are gonna go on and get some of these games, trying to find one of these games to watch, guys. It doesn't seem people are still showing up to their different rounds. So give me one moment as I try to locate a good game for us. Okay, guys, it looks like our first game is going to be an Arcanine Moltres versus a Pikachu deck. Okay, thank you, Anito. Let me quickly. Let me stream this one though real quick, guys. Since we were able to find this one. Oh. Let's see here. Okay. This is gonna be versus and it is going to be 0-0. Yep. So we're going to be watching a Pikachu versus an Arcanine EX Moltres EX deck, guys. Let me quickly finish getting this up for us, and then we can get started. Okay. I am going to turn off the background music. No, it's already stopped. And we can go on and get into our game here, which I'm so excited for. Guys, we are going to go on and see 2 points on the side of Recco Basil. Oh, I almost changed the name. We do have an Arcanine here on screen here today. It is Arcanine versus a Pikachu. That Arcanine is already fully powered up from that Moltres, and Arcanine EX is going to end up in the active and was able to knock out a Zapdos EX as easy as that. Our Pikachu here is having to decide what to do. This Arcanine can one-shot that powered up Pikachu, but potentially, if we could get a X-Speed back to this Raichu, we could see a bit of a comeback. We do see an attack here now from the Zapdos onto that Arcanine, putting him at 110, but he's still not in range of the Pikachu EX on the bench. Arcanine EX is going to need a Giovanni, which he has, if he wants to one-shot this Zapdos, and that's going to be game 1 for our first game there, top 32. Okay, guys, they're going to get into game 2 now, which is going to be super exciting to watch in a second. So, let me adjust. Okay, and we're gonna go into game 2 now. Okay, so a baby Pikachu does get put on the board here versus Rocco, and Rocco starts with a Growlithe. Growlithe definitely is not the starting Pokemon that Rocco Basil wants to be playing here. He definitely wants to start with that Moltres, but we are seeing here that the Pikachu is starting first. So Rocco Basil next turn will have a turn, or not a turn to find an X-Speed, we'll be looking for an X-Speed in that first game, or first turn. We see Zapdos come down here for Burakai now, and a research start digging deeper for those different basics that he's going to really want to start building up on his bench, or that Lieutenant Surge or Raichu for further games. Okay, guys, and with that, the Growlithe player was able to find a second Growlithe. He's going to start building up that Growlithe on the bench instead of the one in the active, and does find a fossil to help protect against any Sabrinas. Outside of Burakai, he is able to identify a Pikachu, which he has on the bench now, and a Raichu that's going to help that baby Pikachu that evolved from help survive a couple more turns before we get started. Passing back, we still have not found an Arcanine from... Don't I have the sound off? I'm confused. I thought the music was off. So we are going to see that retreat now from this Raichu back on the bench to Pikachu. That's going to be 0.1 for Burakai, as Rocco Basil is still looking for those different Arcanines, that Moltres, but because Arcanine does not discard energy, Moltres really isn't needed here at this point. As long as that Growlithe can survive and we can find an Arcanine, we can continue on and start fighting. We are promoting that Growlithe with energy, which I do believe means we will have an Arcanine this turn, or we'll see a retreat here. We do finally get a Moltres, but do we have an Arcanine that can take out this Pikachu EX? Instead, we see retreat back. Moltres is now acting as a tank against this Pikachu, but Moltres is allergic or weak to those electric type Pokemon, which means he'll only have a couple turns to find that Arcanine. Only one energy comes down from this Moltres to be able to attach to that Arcanine. But we also potentially see some cards that could be leading to a knockout fairly more early than Burkai might have expected before. Instead, that 90 damage comes down from that Pikachu, 110 with type advantage onto that Moltres EX. Okay, so Rocco's really looking for that Arcanine, like we mentioned earlier. He's still, I mean, he's hoping that he'll be able to find it before this Moltres EX gets knocked out. Burkai already has 1 point, which means this, is going to have to retreat, or it could be a game loss. And here we have it, a Sabrina as well, that's going to try to delay some more time, decrease the amount of energies on this board of Burkai's, and hope that Rocco Basil can really like stall long enough to find the attacker he's wanting, which is that evolution fire dog Pokemon. Okay. This definitely is looking like a GG here on the side of the Pikachu. If he is able to, if we do see an Arcanine come down from Rocco Basil, and we're not going to, this does seem like the end for game 2, and we're going to be going into that game 3 more than likely right here. Okay, and that is 0.3 that Burkai needed. That is going to be the game, and I'm going to go on and hide their screen again as they work on setting up game 3. Arcanine is definitely super strong into Pikachu. It's able to one-shot most of Pikachu's Pokemon, other than the Zapdos, which can be knocked out in one hit in tandem with the Giovanni. That being said, if Arcanine never appears, it is a much harder game to play for the Arcanine EX. Pikachu is lucky enough that it is a basic. It does not have to evolve. And so we saw here just how disastrous it can be at times for these different Pokemon here. Okay. Game 3 is starting now, guys. This Arcanine EX is having a much better start now. Moltres is in the active and has a Growlithe on the bench. That being said, Zapdos is going to be able to start pecking away at this Moltres as Rocco Basil is really going to be hoping to find another Arcanine. That Inferno Dance does come down, but no Arcanine has been seen just yet. Moltres gets to flip 3 coins for each heads he hits. That's an energy he can attach to his benched Pokemon. So it's going to be 2 energy here, and he does attach that to a single Growlithe on the bench. Burkai is going to be looking for those other electric Pokemon now, guys. He has the type advantage into Moltres, and he's going to want to roll over Rocco Basil before he's able to find an Arcanine and take the game. Rocco Basil does find a fossil, which could protect against future Sabrinas. But what we're really looking for, as I said, is that Arcanine that can help start taking care of those Burkai Pokemon. One-shotting Pikachu, one-shotting with the Giovanni, that Zapdos. That's all Rocco Basil needs now. The energies are set up. The Pokemon are on the bench. But where is that stage 1 evolution? We're going to see another Inferno Dance now. That's going to be a Tails, a Heads, and another Heads, another 2 energies to Rocco Basil's bench now. Arcanine! Hello! Where are you? That is what we're wondering here. Okay. Arcanine's the new champion of hide and seek. So it does look like we're going to see a retreat here from that Moltres. Where is Arcanine? That fossil's now in the front. Basically, any Pokemon can knock out a fossil. But that being said, we have a Raichu. But does it even matter if we cannot? It doesn't even matter if we can't even find an Arcanine in the first place. We're going to see this retreat back now to that Pikachu EX. That will be knocking out this fossil. That's going to be a 0.1 for Burakai now. Rocco Basil can still lose another single pointer, but what does that mean for the overall match? That is the question I have here. Okay. Arcanine finally appears, though, as Burakai takes his first point. Arcanine can one-shot this Pikachu EX, and that's going to be the first 2 points for Rocco Basil. Will there be enough energy on the board, though? And can we find a Lieutenant Surge to take back this game? Raichu may be the only option here, but instead, Zapdos is promoted. I guess we do not have a Lieutenant Surge just yet. A third energy is attached to that Zapdos, and we're going to see a Thundering Hurricane. All he needs is 3 heads, and he could have a knockout. And 1 heads to miss. That's going to leave Arcanine with 30 health. And that means if we have a Giovanni here, Rocco Basil is going to take the win. Rocco Basil is going to take the win here. And a Giovanni is going to come down now, guys. That is going to be a win for Rocco Basil, as we mentioned. I'm going to go on and cover up their screen, go on and get another game up for us to watch. So, guys, I am going to go on and get that game up with that Arcanine EX and Charizard EX versus I'm not sure if they just finished their set, though. So let me double check that before we watch their game. But yeah, give me one moment. Just let me double. Ooh. Daisy, 1 second. I made an oopsie. They are going into their game 2. Hayato has taken game 1 here, guys, in this match. I'm going to go on and get it up. Transition over. And we're going to be watching that Hayato versus, oh, I misspelled it. Okay. We are going to see Hayato versus that Articuno Starmie EX. We do not run any Giovannis in Hayato's list. So we are going to have to see exactly how it goes. 2 quad flips from that Misty is going to be an immediate 40 damage that Articuno EX can put into this Moltres before there's even been a hand attached this game. So let's see. We do see Growlithe on the bench for Hayato, and a Moltres EX in the active, exactly where he wants it. That Charmander is going to come down now on Hayato's side, and we're going to see an Inferno Dance from this Moltres EX to start powering up those different Pokemon on the bench. Okay. Let's see. Quickly. Okay. So we are going to see that another attack from that Articuno EX. We're going to see what Hayato does here. So let's see what happens. Hayato is going to be looking for that Charmeleon. He's going to be looking for that Arcanine. He's obviously looking for those different evolutions that he'll be digging for the rest of this game. So let's see here, guys. Will he be able to find Arcanine? Will Arcanine play hide and seek? Or will we even see that Charmeleon appear? We do see a Charmeleon already on the bench here. And we're going to see another Inferno Dance as we try to get these different energies onto the bench. 2 heads this time are going to mean that there's 4 energies on this Charmeleon. Hayato is still looking for that Charizard, however, potentially for that Arcanine, but he doesn't even have an Arcanine on the board that he can use. Starmie EX is now being evolved now onto Nido's bench. This is only game 2 of a best of 3, so we're going to have to see how this ends up playing out. Okay, that's going to be a knockout onto that Moltres, and that's going to be 2 points for Nido Pokemon. For those who are interested, by the way, in Hayato's deck, there is currently an event going on in-game where you are able to get these Charmeleons, the Charmanders, the Arcanines, the Growlithe's much more easy than normal, so check it out. We are going to see a red card come down from Hayato now. He's trying to bide a little bit more time to start knocking out these different Pokemon, and for his Pokemon not to be knocked out in turn. He's definitely hoping that Nido does not have a Sabrina that would potentially knock out this Growlithe on the bench, but we do see it evolve to now as well, which is going to mean that Hayato can at least protect his bench a little bit more while he knocks out these Pokemon with Charizard. That's going to be a knockout on to that Articuno EX here, which is going to mean 2 points for Hayato. If this Starmie EX has a Sabrina, we could potentially see Arcanine at 110 damage. That's going to be only 20 health left, and he's going to need a way to retreat that Arcanine EX if he wants a chance. The Sabrina does come down from Nido now, and that's going to be enough, honestly, to bring that Arcanine forward, put a lot of pressure on Hayato. If Hayato doesn't have 2 X speeds, this could be, well, if Hayato has an X speed, if he doesn't have a single X speed, this could be game here. Even then, there's a chance that Nido could run into another Sabrina, which would still spell the same fate if we only have 1 X speed. 1 X speed is coming down. Will we have a second? A second does not come down. We're going to see retreat by hand by this by this Moltres. Charizard is only going to be able, Hayato? To do that 60 damage, but Starmie in turn is only able to do 110. If we don't see a second Sabrina from Nido, we are probably going to see a knockout from Hayato in a game 2. A game 2 win for our opponent here. Let's see. We have another starting this side of Nito, but do we have a Sabrina? A Giovanni's gonna come down, but again, that's only gonna make it 120 damage. I'm not really sure what this red card is trying to do here, but without that Sabrina, I do think this is gonna spell defeat for Nidorocks. Okay, and that pass back, only 40 health left on that Charizard EX. We are gonna have to see exactly what happens. And that is going to be a loss for that Starmie EX, Articuno EX, guys. I'm going to pause the game a little bit. We are going to have to find another match to watch. Give me one moment. Okay, let me quickly find another stream. Just checking to see if we have any ones that are you can watch. Let's see. Okay. So now, guys, we're gonna be watching another Pikachu versus a Arcanine EX, Moltres EX. We are currently 1-0 for the Arcanine EX. We'll have to see if they go to a game 3. We're currently on game 2, just quickly clearing the scoreboard, and we should be good to go. We are going to see a knockout here onto a Moltres EX, so that is going to be 2 points. The rat does, however, have 2 points as well, it looks like. So if this Arcanine has a Giovanni or a way to rope up one of these Pikachus, this is going to be potentially a win for the rat. And Giovanni is going to come down here. That is going to be a game 2 for the rat for their win. And we are probably going to be going into our top 32 very soon. So give me one moment. One moment. Oh no, did it really? That's so sad to hear. Okay. It looks like there's 2 still going. I'm gonna see if I can get one of them up real quick, guys. Give me one moment. Okay, it's a Charizard versus Pikachu that I have us here. Charizard is in the lead with a game 1. Let me just quickly bring it up. It is Mojo versus Ham8B. We're going to see a Sabrina come down from that Charizard side. It's going to force up one of the electric Pokemon from the bench. If he puts up the Blitzel, this could be the first point that Mojo needs to get started. Neither players right now have any points, so it's going to be... It is going to be that Blitzel getting moved up. That's going to be 60 damage into the Zebstrika, but that's enough for him to still survive here. Honestly, Ham8B might want that to be the Pokemon that stays in the active this turn, because next turn, Charizard EX can knock out. That being said, there's no reason to use that 4 energy attack if the Zebstrika is at 30 health. But he still needs 2 more turns if he wants to power up this Zapdos on the bench to be able to knock out that Charizard. We're going to see a research come down now from Ham8B. They're looking for more of their Pokemon, more cards to try to find a win con here, now that Charizard is already set up. Another Pokeball does go down, and we're going to have to see exactly how this gets played out. We see a second energy attachment here, but where is it going? If it goes on Zebstrika, we could see an attack this turn. However, that would mean that Zapdos would need to be powered up even more later. Zapdos needs 3 energy to be able to flip 4 coins, and for each heads he hits, it's a additional 50 damage, which means he can do anywhere from 0 to 200, enough to knock out Pikachu, but you're gonna need really high luck to do that. So let's see here, guys. He does attach to that. He does attach to the Zapdos EX on the bench, and we see a second Moltres come down on Mojo's side now. Because Zebstrika did get played, we are probably not going to see that 4 damage attack that discards 2 energy from this Charizard. That means, however, that if that's the case, we will see that Zapdos get 1-hit KO'd next turn if that's the Pokemon he goes for. Charizard EX can hit for 200, or does hit for 200 damage, but it discards 2 energies. There are no Pokemon currently 200 health or less than 200 health, so Charizard EX does knock out all the Pokemon in the game, and he attaches instead to the Moltres on his bench with that extra energy. Makes sense, since the math really doesn't work where he needs a second 200 damage attack. But if there is a chance he gets knocked out, he will need another attacker instead from one of those Moltreses on his bench. That is going to be a first point, though, from Mojo taking out the Zebstrika. And now Ham8B is more than likely going to attach that Zapdos and pray that he hits all 4 heads. Energy is on that Zapdos now. This is going to be his only chance, guys. What will we see come down here? Will he win? Dun, 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 dun. A Pikachu is going to get put on the board, it looks like. He is hoping for that 4 coins, and he will need to be set up for that following turn to be able to work on one of these Moltres if he does knock out this Charizard. The game is not over for Ham8B, even if he does secure this knockout. Oh, and that is going to be a loss into this Charizard, only 50 damage, and we're more likely going to see that 200 damage attack into this Zapdos, securing a second win for the Charizard. Give us one moment, guys, and I will find us into our top 16 here. Okay. Wait. Oh, that is game 2. That was... Okay, sorry. Ham8B won game 1. So it turns out we are into game 3 now. I'm a dummy. We're into game 3 now. Charizard lost game 1, and we're going into game 3. I'm a dum-dum. I read that wrong. So we are going to be going into game 3. Hi, Trapson. Welcome in. Okay, guys, let's go on and get up that game 3. I'm really sorry for saying that Charizard had won game 1. So we are into our game 3 here. Blitzel is in the active, and Moltres is the starting Pokemon for Mojo. That is the exact Pokemon that Mojo wants to start with, but he is going to need to find those Charmanders, Charmeleons, and Charizards in those upcoming turns. On the side of Ham8B, he is going to be looking for a lot of different electric Pokemon. To power up his Pikachu EX, he needs his full bench to be all electric. Otherwise, his Pikachu will not be able to do 90 damage. That being said, he doesn't even have a Pikachu down just yet, and going first, he is on the back foot with energy. It's going to be another 2 turns where he could power up a big attacker like that, but luckily that Blitzel in the active is going to be an option to attack next turn, doing 40, maybe 50 if we find that Blitzel. So let's see. That Moltres does not, Mojo does not find his Charmander just yet, and that means the only energies he's going to be generating here are going to go to a second Moltres on the bench. 1, 0, 0. 3 Tails comes down on the side of Mojo. That's going to be 0 energy attachments to his bench Moltres here, and it's going to be a couple more turns before Mojo has the chance to attack. The Zebstrika does get played here on the side of Ham8B, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see these energy attachments go onto the Zebstrika and begin to do 50 damage every turn to this Moltres. Instead, that energy goes to Pikachu, and he begins to power up that electric mouse Pokemon. A Charmander finally gets played on Mojo's side, which could be good for Mojo if he's able to find those Charmeleons and Charizards coming up very soon. Moltres is going to Inferno Dance again. Last turn, he got 0 heads, which spelled 0 energies. What will he get this turn? 0. 1, 2 energies to attach to his bench. They both go onto that Charmander. He is fast tracking that Charmander's energy now as he tries to build up that Pokemon. We're going to see a Pokeball come down on the side of Ham8B here. That's going to be a third electric basic, or a third electric for that Pikachu to start attacking with. That's going to be 90 damage, 110 with type advantage that Ham8B is going to be able to attack with. And with an X speed, we're seeing that this turn as fast as possible. And we're going to see that 110 go into that active Moltres. Will we see a Charmeleon next turn? Because if not, Charmander could be on a timer. And we do see that 90, 110 damage come down. Charmeleon? Charmeleon, anyone? And the Charmeleon is found. Does Mojo have a Charizard for next turn? And if so, this could be close to game for Mojo. X speed does pull that Moltres back now. This could be a retreat, but we retreat to the other Moltres on Mojo's bench. Potion is going to try to heal up that Moltres on the bench. It does protect it from an immediate Zebstrika attack. The type advantage does not get accounted for when it's not the active Pokemon, meaning Zebstrika will not be able to knock out that Moltres now. What will Ham 8B decide to do here? If Mojo has a Charizard next turn, this could spell the end for our Pikachu player. Another research does go down as Ham 8B begins to dig further and further into his deck. Can we get a knockout that would potentially be able to be Sabrina'd around? Like Sabrina rounding that Charizard? Because we did see last game he did have a Sabrina. We'll have to see. And energy is going on that Pincurchin, which to me means Ham 8B recognizes that he might need to stall a couple turns against the Charizard. A second 110 damage goes down now. Mojo has both his Moltres at only 30 health. Oh, and the Charizard does come down, guys. That's going to mean that Moltres needs an X speed to retreat, or this Charizard will only be able to do 100 or 200 attack in a row before he has to do a 60. Red card does come down now from Mojo. He's going to be trying to protect against any potential Sabrina attacks. That is his only loss con. Charizard EX is going to do that 200 damage into that Pikachu EX now. Mojo gets his first 2 points. And now that Pikachu player is going to have to figure out how to come back. Charizard cannot do 200 damage again this turn. He'll only be able to attack for 60. And both of those Moltreses on the bench will not be able... Well, one of those is at 70 or 30, which will get knocked out from the Zebstrika here. Does Mojo have anything to protect the bench? If he has a fossil, potentially that could help protect against a Sabrina this next turn. But that's gonna be 2 points for Ham 8B, and honestly, even bringing up a fossil would be enough to spell an end for Mojo. Charizard will be able to do 60 into that Zebstrika, but is not enough to knock it out just yet. We see a Sabrina come down now for Ham 8B. This Moltres here is at 70 health now. It will not be able to be one-shot by the Zebstrika, but we are going to see instead a retreat, it looks like, to could it be the Pincurchin that could potentially paralyze this Moltres in place. It'll be 50 damage. And this game is coming down to potentially a coin flip. But actually, either way, Handmade Bee may have the win here. We would need 2 X speeds to retreat and attack for 200 next turn on Mojo's side. And we've already used at least 1 X speed, if not 2, from his deck. That means an energy would need to go into that Moltres, and Handmade Bee has officially stalled a turn no matter what happens here. Ooh, heads does come down, which is going to secure the win, but even if it was not, Mojo would not have been able to do 70 damage next turn unless he had a Giovanni. That Paralyze will spell a win, though, for Handmade Bee, and that's going to guarantee his progression to top 62. Okay, guys, I'm gonna quickly cover up. We're gonna be going into our top 16 in a short second here. I'm gonna flip back to our meta breakdown so you guys can see who is in that top 16. Why did he not get the Charizard in? He got Sabrina. He got Sabrina. So he didn't really have a choice. Did not have a choice. So let's see here. Oh, Joe. Okay, I am gonna go on and announce now, guys. Okay. Whew. Okay, guys. I'm gonna be getting us some next games. We can quickly check what is in our top 16 here. You're gonna see that here and above we have one Charizard Moltres, 2 Arcanine Moltres EXs, 1 Charizard EX and Arcanine EX, a number of different Mewtwo's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Mewtwo's. We have 3 Pikachus and an Articuno EX Greninja. Let's see. Playing twin. Does it do anything in the bracket here? It doesn't show bracket. I like the 1 through 16 a little better. So let's see here, guys. Let me find us a match really quick to watch in our top 16. Yeah, I'm saying I like this one better. It's not bracket. Like Hayato is versus Fosco. This isn't bracket. How's the bracket? Oh, there's a button here. Oh, that's so cool. I'm a dummy, guys. I'm still learning. Do you like my earrings? Do you like the earrings? They're gigantic, right? Sorry, I'm a dummy. Thank you. You can see here, we're going to have a Pikachu EX versus that Charizard EX. Charizard versus Mewtwo, Mewtwo versus Mewtwo, an Arcanine versus a Pikachu, an Arcanine versus a Pikachu again. Two different mirror matches against different Charizards, Charizards, Mewtwo's, and that Greninja-Mewtwo EX. So let me quickly get started for our next game. So let's see. I'm gonna quickly bring one up here, guys, and get it going. I'm gonna see if we can get that Articuno-Greninja game versus a Mewtwo EX. Points. Okay, and we're gonna go into that top 16 game now. We are watching Mewtwo EX versus an Articuno EX and Greninja. So let's see here. Articuno is being promoted to the active. There is 2 energies attached to that Articuno. We still only have 1 energy here on the side of this Mewtwo EX and not a single Mewtwo EX in the Envision. We are still looking for Mewtwo EX. We're looking for Kirlias. We're looking for Gardevoirs. With the cards currently on the board, we do have 1 Kirlia, and we are assured a Mewtwo EX from this Pokeball here. This Mewtwo EX does get played, and we're going to see a retreat from this Rotts back to this baby Mewtwo on the bench. We finally see a Gardevoir come down perfectly on curve here, but that's not going to be enough energy to make this Mewtwo, baby Mewtwo, do enough damage this turn or any damage at all. We won't have 120 until next turn, and as such, we see the first attach from that Mewtwo. We're going to see that second attach from the Gardevoir onto that baby. It passes back to Articuno now. Articuno's moving to hand attach. We'll see if they have another Misty to begin to set up the bench, if they have any Frogadiers. And that second Mewtwo does, Misty does come down now. And we get 1 energy onto that Articuno. Okay. A second Gardevoir is made now, meaning we could hand attach to that Mewtwo on the bench to be able to set it up for future attacks and use both of these Gardevoirs to power up the baby Mewtwo and begin to swing here with only 120 damage though. This is going to be a rough game for this Articuno EX and the Greninjas. Not a single Frogadier has appeared just yet, but on Sigfel's side, we have 2 Gardevoirs already prepped and ready to fight. This Sabrina is going to bring up a new Pokemon. Mewtwo EX could see play, but it does look like we have a second Gardevoir instead that could be making its way. I'm debating what I think might be the best, and it does look like I do agree with this more healthy Gardevoir here. It can see a retreat next turn, but we potentially would want an X speed to be able to attack again before the following hit. An X speed does appear, which means we might see Gardevoir retreat back to this baby Mewtwo and begin to start fighting. I think this was the correct play, putting up that Gardevoir. If Sigfell had decided to promote that big EX, he would have 80 damage on him, and he would be able to be knocked out by that following Articuno the next turn, which could not be one-shot by the baby Mewtwo. We're gonna see a retreat here from this Gardevoir back to that baby Mewtwo to finish off the Articuno in the active. This is going to be game one. Not a single Frogadier appeared, sadly, for for Sigfell here, or not for Sigfell, for Surfero here, but potentially we still have 2 more games that could play out in a better fashion for the Articuno-Greninja player. That's going to be a knockout onto that that Articuno in the active. Any knockout will mean a win now for Sigfell. Baby Articuno does get played as well onto the bench here. And we're going to see Articuno be finally knocking out this baby Mewtwo. However, with the energies attached to this Mewtwo EX, we are going to see Mewtwo EX be able to do 150 damage this turn, signing off on Surfero's game. That's going to be game one, guys. We still have 2 more games to potentially swing back into Surfero's favor. So we'll have to see how this works out. I'm going to go on and cover up their game, though, to let them get set up. That is point 3. They have Surfero could still come back, win a 2-0 after that game, and go into top 8. It is a BO3. Okay, guys, and we'll be starting game 2 now. Let's see if Surfero has any better of a game here. We do see that baby Mewtwo in the active, which is exactly what Sigfell wants, and a Feroki being played by Surfero. Sigfell is definitely going to want to find some Raltses in his upcoming turn, but Surfero is going first and is going to start building up his bench. A second Feroki comes down. Probably not what Surfer is looking for, but he does already have an Articuno, so he'll have 3 Pokemon on the bench now. A Misty does get played. Will we see a turn 1 attack here? And we don't from that Articuno. We are deciding to do it. That first attach is going to go into that Mewtwo EX. Even though we were able to play a research, it does not look like we were able to find any Raltses, which is going to be a bit difficult for Sigfell to come back from. He's going to need an extra turn now if he wants to find that Gardevoir, and he's definitely going to want to see a Ralt if he wants any chance of protecting against a Sabrina in the future. The red card does come down from Surfero, a hand attach onto that Articuno in the bench, and he red carded Sigfell into what, though? Hmm. A second Mewtwo does get played now. Potentially, Sigfell is actually helped, but we still don't see any Ralts on this Mewtwo side. Surfro does finally get a Frogadier, an evolution on to that Froakie, but what will get played? And X-Speed does come down with this second hand attached to the Articuno. We're going to see 40 damage go into this baby Mewtwo before Sigfell has been able to do any damage to Surfro. We see, oh, we see a red card now. Well, we don't. Oh, we do. Yeah, see that red? Did we? No, we didn't. See it come down. It looks like Sigfell is deciding what to do here. His turn only has 45 seconds left, and with that warning, he does play the red card, starting us into this game. Did this help or hurt Surfro? That's the question. A third energy is going to be enough to knock out this Mewtwo in the active, but that still has a lot of questions for that Mewtwo on the bench. Mewtwo will be able to do 150 next turn to knock out that Articuno. That being said, Mewtwo will be set back to only 2 energy, and he's going to have to repair that energy loss. Instead, actually, he only does 40, allowing Sigfell a little bit more time. That means, however, Surfro is going to start building up that second baby Articuno on his bench now. He says, I don't want to knock you out just yet. I'm not giving you free retreat to knock out my Articuno. But that doesn't matter on Sigfell's side because Sigfell has a 2 X speed that's going to let him retreat that baby Mewtwo regardless and swing a 150 damage from Sigfell into Surfro. Yep, that's 150. That's me 2 points for Sigfell here. If we have a Misty, we potentially could see 100 or 60 damage onto this Mewtwo. Potentially see a Paralyze, but we have a lot to still get accomplished before we could see that happen. We should have another Misty still in the deck, but we pass back to Sigfell. Sigfell finally gets his first Ralts, and we are only able to do 50 with this Mewtwo EX. Okay. The energy does go on to that additional Mewtwo, which is meaning that 50 damage is going to go on to that Frogadier in the active. XP does mean this Frogadier will be able to retreat back to this baby Articuno. 60 damage on to this Mewtwo could potentially mean that we're going to see a Paralyze come out. Oh, and that will be a Paralyze now onto Sigfell's Mewtwo EX. He is powering up that other Mewtwo EX on the bench here. He said, you know, I know this could happen. I don't want it to happen and wipe out all of my energies or resources on the bench. It does look like that second energy is going onto that Mewtwo EX as well. And we finally see a Curlia this game for Sigfell. Surfero is really going to want to either paralyze this second Mewtwo EX or finish the knockout on him. It would mean, though, that he would need to have he won't be able to do it, but he would need a lot more to get it done. We do finally see a Greninja on Surfero's side. That could, oh, and it does mean 20 damage onto the Mewtwo on the bench. If we see Paralyze here again, this could be game next turn. Oh, and... oh, the Paralyze does miss. That being said, this Mewtwo is going to need to retreat. He cannot knock out this baby Articuno, and this second Mewtwo on the bench can't either. I'm going to pull these down a little bit. Okay. A second Greninja could be a lot for Sigfell. He doesn't want to lose his baby Mewtwo, and we're not going to see that with that potion being used. But a second Greninja could still give Surfero the game. But it does look like... are we going to see a retreat? That's my question here. Instead, we see that 50 damage. Surfero definitely doesn't, unless he gets that second Greninja, want to hit into this deck just yet. But let's see here. We need a second Greninja, but instead we see a Misty for now. But what will that mean? Oh, one energy onto this Articuno. A second does mean 40, and we are going to see that Shuriken come down onto that Mewtwo on the bench. The Paralyze doesn't even matter here. Without that second Greninja, this Mewtwo on the bench may take the game. He only needs 1 point to win, and that's going to mean Sigfell is going to make it into the top 8. Yep, and Sigfell will be able to make it into the top 8 here. He already has 2 points. He now has that 4th energy, and that's going to be a knockout. Let's see if I can get us, I'm going to get us another game now for this top 16. One second. Oh. I was blind for a second. Okay. One second, guys. I am looking for another game for us really quickly. Okay. Let's quickly check over on that metagame. I'm going to see real quick who had the interesting games. The Arcanine Charizard was able to proceed to the next round. I will update it for you guys. So Hayato did go on and make it. I'm going to quickly find us another match, though, here. And we're going to be going in that one. Okay. It is currently Ham8B versus Roscoe Basile are both 1-1 in this best of 3. I will fix that in a second, I guess. Oh. I think they just finished their third game. Never mind. Oh, no, he brought it back up. Give me 1 second, guys. I had a little bit of issue getting this edited. So. Okay. So it is Ham8B versus, oh, this is Fortress? Oh, I am in the, I'm so confused right now what I just did. I have the wrong people up. Okay. That's whatever. I'm just ignore me. Sorry, guys. My brain is, we are actually going to watch the Rat versus Fortress. My brain is a little bit lagging, it looks like. And we are 2 versus 2. So let's see here. It is this Moltres. The Raichu is able to knock out that Arcanine in the active here. And we are going to see exactly what the Rat is able to work out here to still secure a win. Okay. A third energy is going to come down from this Moltres now, which is going to allow it to do 70 damage. But will it be enough to still win here? Because it's a huge question. If Fortress doesn't have an X speed, we would potentially see that it takes up a resource to retreat this Raichu, and we wouldn't have an attack next turn. But if he has an X speed, we could see a knockout in a couple turns onto this Moltres. Okay. My button will not be in the chat, in the thing. So we do see a retreat here from Fortress, but it's back to the Zapdos. Moltres is only going to do another 70 damage to this Zapdos. I'm assuming we're stalling a moment to try to find those X speeds, but we had to waste resources last turn to do such thing. I assume we're going to see I wonder if we're going to see an Inferno Dance here, but instead we see Heat Blast. It's going to be a 70 damage into that Zapdos. Will we see X speed this turn and an attack? But no, an energy goes on to that Zapdos. Potentially a peck or retreat is about to come down. And instead, we retreat back to a second Pikachu EX, still waiting for those X speeds to try to protect our Pokemon. Articuno EX, though, finally is found, and that's a second energy on Articuno EX. Because Fortress is deciding to stall so much, this Articuno is able to be powered up and allow for this Heat Blast to keep on the pressure. X-Speed is really what Fortress wanted these last two turns. But that looks like a win for the Arcanine EX, and he is going to continue on to the top 8. Okay, let me cover up here. We can flip back to that meta breakdown and check out how these matches are going. Way to win. Okay. Fortress will be coming down here to Charlie. It's just going to take a second for the game to recognize it. Arcanine is the Pika counter for sure. It is built to be that way, and so it's not really surprising to see it. Let's see. Yeah, and then together they can counter everything. Not really, but maybe. Okay, I'm gonna go and bring us up a game potentially again, guys. Another Arcanine I'm bringing up. This time, actually, who I meant to bring up last time. Okay. Okay, guys. They're currently 2-0. They're also into game 3. So let's see. Okay. So it is Rocco Basil versus Ham 8B. It is another Arcanine EX versus Pikachu EX. Such an interesting deck to see here. We are going to see that Circle Circuit into that Arcanine. That is going to be able to knock it out, and that will be 2 points for Ham B here. That being said, none of the Pokemon on Rocco's side are fully powered up. We only see an Inferno Blast range here for the Moltres, and we still have a lot more to go. Moltres is really gonna want to find another Arcanine now, and we'll have to. But he doesn't find it before the Inferno Dance occurs, meaning it's gonna be a moment before we will start to see another Arcanine, or potentially this could be a game loss for Rocket Basil. And 1 energy comes down for the Moltres on the bench. Next turn we could see 70 damage, but right now Moltres doesn't have enough to do it. Instead, we see a Sabrina that's going to bring forward this Fossil Helix, and that's going to be enough to take game, guys. That'll be 0.3, and that will put Ham 8B into the top 8. Pikachu is officially in the top 8. We have 1 more match going. Nope, that is the last match. And then we'll get into that game. So let's check back on this metagame, guys. And what Ham 8B is officially there. Let me quickly update this one so we can see it. And now you can see here there is 1 Pikachu, there is 4 Gardevoirs, 1 Arcanine Moltres, 1 Charizard Moltres, and 1 Charizard Arcanine. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna go on and find us our next game, guys. We are going to try and watch the Hayato game. Hayato? Hayato. Yeah. So bad. .tv. If I can find it, that is, I guess. Give me 1 second, guys, while I try to find this game. Let's see. Give me 1 moment. I think I found it. Perfect. Okay. Dracon, I already announced that you can start. Dracon. I already announced you can start on the Discord. No problem. So, guys, we are going to stream Dracon's game versus Hayato. If you guys want to check him out, he's in chat. So you can find his stream there. But yeah, we're going to quickly pop up his game here and get going. Okay. Just waiting for their game to start, and we will switch over, guys. We're officially into the top 8. Officially into the top 8. So let's see. Okay, and they are getting started now, guys. They're loading their game, and we can go on and bring it up. We are officially watching the top 8 here. It is Dracon with the... Oh my gosh. Dracon with the Charizard Moltres EX versus Hayato with the Charizard Arcanine Moltres list. So let's see how this breaks out, guys. I'm so excited to watch this game. So yeah. Okay. We are going to have 2 different starts here. It does look like Hayato is going to start game 1. That's going to be a Moltres and a Charmander on the bench. Perfect start for Hayato. However, Dracon is going to want something similar. He wants his Moltres in the active where he can capitalize on the fact that he's getting that first turn. He does seem to get a Moltres with that, but we'll have to see exactly how it plays out. The Moltres does come down and it does look like we have an X speed, which means we are going to be seeing a Inferno Dance this turn with that energy attached by hand. They're both interesting lists. Oh my god. We do see that old Amber come down as well, which is going to help protect against any type of Sabrina that we might otherwise see pull that Charmander into the active. A red card does go down, decreasing the size of Hayato's hand now. We're going to have to see exactly where this goes, but does Hayato have that Charmeleon that he really wants to get to be able to curve directly into a Charizard? We're going to see 3 heads from this Moltres now. And that's going to be a lot of energy for this player. Hayato, I believe, also does have a red card. I'm not 100% sure on that. But we'll have to see how that starts to work out. Energy does come down with that Moltres EX. And a Charmeleon does get played, and a Growlithe is now on the bench. That Moltres EX is going to flip those 3 same coins and see if he too can get as many heads as possible. Oh, 2 energies go onto the bench now. That's going to be a Charmeleon with 2 energies here. A Charmeleon does get played by Dracon as well, but does he have any Charizards that can help capitalize on the speed? A Research does get played. He's digging for those different Pokemon. We potentially are seeing some good Pokemon for Dracon here that could allow him to be leading to that knockout. But honestly, when it comes to a Charizard mirror, which it does seem to be how they're going to play, it's often who has the first Charizard into the active, unless you have a second Charizard on the bench ready to fight as well. Charizard can one-hit KO basically any of those Pokemon. And that's the 0 energy from Dracon onto his Charmeleon. The Charmeleon's going to have only 3 energy right now. And if he wants to attack next turn, that's only going to be 4 energy, meaning he's going to have to delay a second 200 damage attack. Oh. Now, it's back on Hayato's side. Does he have a Charizard? And will he get those coin flips that he needs? The second energy does go on the Moltres, meaning he will not need an XP to retreat back into a Charizard. No Charizard does get created, but we're going to go on and see that coin flip again. Will he get the energies he needs? He's going to want another 2 energies if possible. And there's only 1 back onto that Charmeleon, but we haven't even seen the Charizard appear either. Dracon is still going to be looking for those Charizards this game. He only has, I believe, 3 energies onto that Charmeleon. The Charizard does get made now, that big Charizard EX. I mean, Hayato is really going to need a Charizard EX himself if he wants to come back from this. Hayato had Charmeleon. It's a Charmeleon in the top corner. We don't have a Charizard yet. That is going to be 70 damage now from this Moltres onto Hayato's Moltres. This is definitely potentially a win that we're going to see here. But a potion will bring him back out of range of a one-hit KO from that Moltres. Hayato is debating what to do here. Can he find a Charizard in time? And we do see a second Moltres being played onto the bench now. We are going to see a retreat back with that almost fully powered up Moltres and another Inferno Dance, hopefully to power up that Charizard or potential Charizard that we can see in a couple turns. Oh, 1, 2 more energies now for Hayato. And that's going to be able to set up that second Moltres on the bench to be able to attack later. Second Charmeleon does come into Dracon's hand, but what he wants here is to force Hayato's Charizard into the active where he can hit KO it and he won't have any follow-up. We do see this Growlithe now in the active. That is probably going to be a point for Dracon, but that does mean Hayato has not ran into his Charizard just yet. We're able to attach an energy now by hand. two Dracon's Charizard. And that 70 damage will take the first point from that Growlithe. Okay, guys. I'm interested to see how Hayato decides to play this. He does end up putting that Charmeleon into the active now, but to what means? Okay, that is going to be a game 1 for Dracon TV. Let me reset the score here now. And we're going to let them get into their game 2 before we get going. That energy last turn that got attached to the Moltres really didn't matter. With no Charizard, he was definitely hoping for the best. And the Charizard mirror, as it was playing out last turn, you really want to be the last person to put your Charizard into the active. So being able to delay by retreating back into your other Moltres is probably a good play when once you put your Charizard out, the game is going to be over either way. You only need 4 energies on that Charizard because of that. Went into another setup Charizard. Okay, guys. Dracon TV is going to be starting with 2 Moltres here. Two Moltres. Now, a Charmander is getting played by Dracon, and that is going to be his turn 1. So he will not be able to attach this turn, but we do finally see this old Amber getting played, which is going to allow him to avoid any type of Sabrina. Hayato is going to be looking for his Charmander. He's going to want to start building up that Charmander, that Arcanine. And he is going to start digging into his deck now with this research. He's going to start looking for those cards that he really needs. So let's see here. Second Moltres is getting played by Hayato, but is there any Charmanders? And a Charmander does come down now. That's going to be potentially what he's going to want to put his energies on. One. Ooh, 2 energies to put onto his bench now. They go onto that Charmander, securing the first energies for the potential Charizard line. That's going to be a Pokeball from Dracon. He's starting to thin his deck a little bit while he's looking for those Charmeleons, those Charizards. And he's doing the only he can, which is that Pokeball right now. We're going to see finally Dracon being able to Inferno Dance here. I assume to attach back onto this Charmander. But if he had a Charmeleon, he would have played it this turn, meaning he's still digging for that stage 1 Pokemon. 1 energy from the Inferno Dance is going to be attached onto that Charmander now, and back to Hayato. Okay, guys. Hayato flips the coins too. He has 1 energy to attach back onto that Charmeleon. That's definitely a painful spot to be in. But Dracon does get his Charmeleon now and will be looking to start attaching more and more energies onto that little fire lizard. That is going to be a second energy. It looks like placed on to onto that Charmeleon now. A red card is going to go down, trying to delay Hayato from getting that Charizard EX. But will it be enough? The Inferno Dance is going to come down now. And 1, 2, 3 energy onto that Charmeleon. Absolutely crazy now. Which is going to be... But will he attach that final energy? Oh, and he does to that Charmeleon. Research is going to come down from Hayato. He's digging for that Charizard, like we mentioned. He's really, really going to be looking for that final evolution, but he's not going to want to attack just yet. Putting Charizard out into the active is a death sentence when it comes to this mirror. He does not want to put Charizard EX out into the active first. So let's see here. Hayato is going to attack into this Moltres. He's going to want to get a point he's going to want to start with a point here and see where it goes. Moltres EX gets that energy attached, but it does look like we're going to see that 70 damage attack now directly into this Moltres. Sabrina does get pulled into Dracon's hand, but does he have the Charizard? And what will he decide to do this turn? There, now my bun can appear. Let's see. This Moltres is, in fact, in range to be knocked out right now by that opponent's Moltres. It is a BO3. We are currently in game 2. Dracon did take game 1, but he's definitely on the back foot here. He does have the Charizard made, but if his Moltres gets knocked out, he doesn't want to put that Charizard into the active. And even if he does, he has to. I assume he's going to have to do that and really put the pressure on to Hayato now to have the Charizard. The retreat's going to come in more than likely, and we are going to have to see if we can hit that Charizard in time to take advantage of it. Charizard is in... Oh! And time passed! He did it too slow, chat! And that means the Charizard attack does not come down. Charizard EX gets played by Hayato, and game 2 goes to Hayato. What will happen on game 3? Oh. Oh. That's going to be game 3 here. He would have lost either way. This is true. But that it's going to be a game 3 now. Okay, guys. Oh. We do see that Charmander and Moltres in the active here. Dracon is going first, so he doesn't really need to go on and move his Charmander back just yet. That being said here, though, this Moltres EX on the bench does need to make his way next turn to the active spot. On the other side, Hayato doesn't even have a Moltres. The Arcanine is in the active. He is protecting the Charmander a little bit. He's not really at risk of anything, though. And we'll have to see exactly what Hayato has here. Hayato's going to be looking for that Moltres this game. And he's really, really going to be hoping for the X speed so he can go on and get it going. We do see a second Charmander played, but will we see that Moltres? And it doesn't really look like it. Energy's going to be attached to that Charmander on the bench, and it passes back to Dracon. This is definitely going to be a problem for Hayato. He had the energy advantage, and it's squandered without a Moltres. We are going to go in and see that energy attached now from Dracon. That means he has no Charmeleon probably in his hand. Two energies do get attached here from that Inferno Dance. Will we find a Moltres this turn? We only have a couple turns to do so. Okay. This is a really set up board here for Dracon now. That energy on the Charmeleon in the back is definitely going to pose some problems potentially for Dracon TV. He's debating on that red card, but it does look like we're going to see another Inferno Dance trying to build up more energy onto that Charmeleon. He does have potentially a Charizard in hand, but we'll see if he can make use of it well enough. Okay, a third energy is now going onto that Charmeleon. He's trying to stall out when he's using the card and try to find that EX that he'll be able to knock out with. Moltres finally comes down for Hayato now. We potentially could, but we don't see a retreat, and we pass back to Dracon's side. Dracon is going to go in and get to attach his third energy to that Moltres. It's going to be his first knockout of the game on game 3 of this best of 3. Or it's not, or debating it, it looks like. Yep, and that attack is going to come down as expected. And Charmeleon gets promoted back to the active now. That Charmeleon could be a Charizard this turn. And if it is a Charizard EX, Dracon's going to need a returning Charizard EX, not just a baby Charizard, to knock it out. Charizard EX does come down. That's going to be 200 damage attack into this Moltres now. So let's see here. We are going to need, however, a returning Charizard EX to knock out this EX in the active. That'll be 2 points for Hayato. But the big thing is that Charizard EX does not have 4 energies or 3 energies to make 4 next turn. Dracon's going to have to decide what he does here. He is going to go on and put up that Charmeleon, but does he have the card he needs? And he top decks it, guys. He top decks the Charizard, and he's going to be able to knock out his opponent here. Let's go. That's going to be 2 more points for Dracon, and that's going to be a knockout and a win, sending Dracon to the top 8. Give me 1 second, guys, to get people set up. And then I'm gonna quickly flip back over to the meta breakdown. We can check out exactly what these different decks, how they're doing, and who made it into the top 4. And we have the top 4 here. It is 3 Mewtwo's and a Charizard EX. Kind of crazy to see that this game. So we'll have to see exactly how this works out. But I'm so excited to see how this goes. We are going to start with Sigfel's game. So give me 1 moment. Okay, guys. Okay. Let me bring up that match. Okay. Oh, there it goes. Okay. We're going to be watching first the Mewtwo versus Mewtwo game. Let me check what Mewtwo's we have here, but I'm very excited regardless. So okay. I am letting them get set up really quick, guys. Get their starting Pokemon into the active. Just making sure that, to make sure that hands are hidden correctly. And then we can get started. We're going to go on. Oh, wait. Did my name get hidden? Oh. What did I do? Oh. We're getting directly into this top 4 now. And we're going to transition over. Hello, guys. So let's watch this first game here. It is Mewtwo versus Mewtwo. Sigfel is running one baby Mewtwo, and Charlie300 is running one as well. I'm just double checking to see if there's any real differences between their decks. I think this is basically a perfect mirror here. So let's see how this goes. Okay. Sigfel did go first. There are Ralts in the active and a Ralt on the bench, and it does seem like we're immediately going to have this Curlia with this first one. Mr. J, thank you so much for the gifted subbies. I really appreciate that. We are going to see that those that Curlia get evolved to and keep that Ralt in the active. That second energy, he did go second. That second energy does get attached to that Mewtwo EX now. On the side of Charlie300, we finally see that Gardevoir appearing. However, there's not a single Mewtwo EX just yet. This Mewtwo on the bench, however, does mean that he will be able to do 120 next turn. Let's see. That is going to be 10 damage now onto that Mewtwo. It does not really change any math here that we could see. But he is going to be looking for that Gardevoir. Gardevoir this turn could mean 150 damage. He doesn't really need that this turn just yet. But it will mean that he'll be able to in the future. And we do see that Gardevoir come down perfectly on curve here. That Gardevoir is going to attach another energy to that Mewtwo EX. And that's going to be 150 damage into that Ralts. 1 point goes to Sigfel now with that knockout onto that Ralts. That Baby Mewtwo does get promoted. 120 damage will probably be seen here on the Baby Mewtwo. But a red card's going to go down, and we're going to have to see exactly how this works. Sigfel... Sigfel is going to go on and see this next game, or not this next game, but be able to do another 150 damage. That Gardevoir is not set up to knock out next turn, so we'll have to see how this goes. The game is continuing to be played, though. We see these Pokeballs come down. That could be that another Mewtwo or that Baby Mewtwo. And a Curlia gets evolved. 150 damage into this Baby Mewtwo is going to be a 0.2, and there's not a single energy on that Gardevoir. Gardevoir cannot attack without 3 energies, so it needed to be prepped this turn if Charlie300 wanted to attack. That's going to be 0.2 for Sigfel. What will Charlie do? And that's going to be game 1 for Sigfel. One moment while we get this thing set up. It's going to be game 1. Okay, we're going into that game now. Baby Mewtwo is definitely not a bad card, but it definitely can become a liability in the mirror match if you go against a player who does not run into their Baby Mewtwo. But that being said, it's so good against Pikachu and really keeps that matchup in check. So let's see here. We are starting this turn with that Mewtwo EX in the active. We are going first this game, and that means we're going to start digging for Pokemon, looking for that Kirlia, but we are not going to be seeing an energy attached just yet. A second Ralt is being does get played here, and that could mean that we're going to could see two Gardevoirs again. It'll be really interesting in the future. But we are going to go on and see Charlie start digging into their deck now. They're going to want to find those Raltses. They're going to want to find those Kirlias, but they're really going to want to start getting set up, have all the Pokemon needed to make this game much more simple than the last. Okay, and that energy is going to go on for Charlie onto that Mewtwo EX in the active here. The professor's research does come down, and he's going to be digging for those different evolutions. No matter what happens, Charlie will be able to do 50 next turn, but that is not going to be really enough just yet to secure him a win, because they're both 150 damage and both deal 150 damage. Whoever hits that 4 energy first is truly what's going to lead with this game. Thank you, guys. Let's see here. An energy attach is going to go onto that Mewtwo EX, but it does look like we may be missing that Kirlia. A baby Mewtwo does get played. Could we see a retreat back into this baby Tankbon? It does look like we might. X speed will come down here, and that Mewtwo EX is going to hide back on that bench behind this baby Mewtwo. A second Mewtwo EX now comes down for Charlie. He's still going to be looking for those Kirlias, going to be looking for those Gardevoirs. He's going to need every piece he needs to secure this win. And Kirlia does get played onto that bench. That is going to be a first step towards getting that Gardevoir. That first energy gets reattached now back onto that Mewtwo EX. We're going to see a red card get played, trying to delay that Gardevoir from Charlie. Gardevoir definitely will be able to start securing wins for Charlie if Sigfil cannot get his own. So that X speed is going to come down now from Charlie, which is going to allow him to go back to his Mewtwo EX. Does he get the Gardevoir, though? Because he did get red card last turn, and he did get red carded directly into that Gardevoir. That is going to be enough to start swinging and knocking out these different mons on Sigfil's side, and Sigfil is not set up enough to capitalize or be able to capitalize in the first place. No Kirlias does Sigfil see just yet. We're going to be promoting a Ralts, trying to delay a little bit longer here. Oh! A Kirlia does appear potentially now. But if Charlie has another Sabrina, I think he Sabrinaed early. Maybe he didn't. This could potentially still spell a loss. It looks like we didn't see a Sabrina, which means we're going to be hoping he doesn't get it next turn if we're going to play this Kirlia. Oh, and that Curlia does get played. Will we see a Sabrina, though, from this Mewtwo EX? Will we see a Sabrina? And energy gets attached to that Mewtwo on the bench. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Giovanni potentially instead. With that energy attachment, that means they would not be knocking out this Curlia. No Sabrina is happening here just yet. And next turn, we could see a knockout onto this Mewtwo without any response. That's going to be 50 damage in the Ralts, not even a KO. We're going to have to see a retreat here, a way to retreat for Sigfell to capitalize on this swing. But will there be one? And it doesn't. I have a feeling we're not going to see it here. Oh, a second Mewtwo begins to get powered up, and Gardevoir is made by Sigfell, but will it be enough to overcome what's already happened? That 10 damage is going to come down onto Mewtwo EX, but it's really not going to do much other than secure a retreat next turn that it didn't need to secure. A second Gardevoir is made as well. It's going to be a 2-0 here. Well, what? Not a 2-0. We 2 points now for Charlie here. Oh, that's just because I had that leftover from last turn. My bad, guys. That's leftover from last game. I was like really confused for a second. We are going to see a concession, and we are going to be going into game 3 now. We're going into game 3. This is our second 2 Gardevoir game that we've watched today. Oh, I'm going to cover password. Oops daisy, oops daisy. Oh, against the right person. Let's go. Okay. So Sigfell is going second this time. Mewtwo EX and Ralts on the bench. And Charlie EX, not Charlie EX, Charlie has his EX down, but he's going first, which means he would not be able to attach energy this first turn. Now, on the side of Sigfell, we're going to be digging into our deck with that research. We're going to start looking for those Curlias. We're going to start looking for these different Pokemon. The big oof for Charlie last turn. No Mons on that bench other than that Mewtwo EX, and not able to attach energy either. That's going to end Sigfell's turn, potentially, hopefully looking for a Curlia for this next one. But here, Charlie's just going to have to start finding his Raltses. Ralt finally is down for Charlie now. It did take him a moment, but he was able to find that Pokemon. And energy's attached on his Mewtwo EX, and he's really going to be looking for that Curlia next turn. Sigfell, on the other hand, it's his turn to find a Curlia. If he can get it, he can do 150 next turn, potentially, if that Gardevoir appears as well. Pokeball. Oh, and a Curlia as well. That may mean a second, first evolution onto this Ralts now. 9 cards left in the deck. Signup is making sure he knows exactly what he wants to do here. He does attach this Mewtwo EX, and he does evolve into a Curlia now. Will Signup have his Gardevoir for the next turn? 50 damage into Charlie's Mewtwo EX. Even if he has this Curlia, it won't be enough to get him to 150 before Signup can if he finds his Gardevoir. Thank you, guys. Let's see. It's going to be a Sabrina now for Charlie. The question is going to be, what does he put up? And can he get an XP next turn to get it back onto his bench? Oh, the other Mewtwo EX goes up instead, though. It doesn't seem we're going to be trying to retreat next turn. Potion does come down onto this Mewtwo EX. And a red card to try and protect against Signup having a Gardevoir. There was a Gardevoir in his hand before that red card. But if he can find it again, that's the main question. He does a Pokeball. Finds another Ralts here, which is going to be the last Pokemon left in his deck. Or last basic one left in the deck. Will there be a Gardevoir, though? Not over just yet. Max this Mewtwo is going to do is 50 damage. But that second Mewtwo on the bench could be doing 150 next turn as well. So let's see. The anti-red card propaganda is real in chat right now. Sabrina did delay a turn, but we're going to see that 50 damage now into Charlie's Mewtwo EX. A second Ralts is going to be played by Charlie now. And that Gardevoir is going to let this Mewtwo EX do 150 damage into this second Mewtwo. Will Signup be able to knock out this other Mewtwo, though? He does promote the Mewtwo EX from the bench. That's going to be 2 points for Charlie here in Game 3. And we are going to see that attached to Mewtwo, which is going to mean a return revenge knockout that is going to... Yep. Lead to 2 points for Signup here. Okay, and that's going to be Game 3 now for Signup, which means that Signup will officially be going to the finals. are just gonna go on, guys, and get set up for our next round as they get ready. And hopefully we will be into that next game very soon. Okay. Wait, why does that say? Oh, let me. There's always a chance. It's just random. Let's see, guys. I'm just waiting for them to get set up and we'll transition over to their games. So one moment here. Let's see. Okay, guys, and they're going into game one now. Let me pop that up and let's get started. So guys, let's quickly see how this game is gonna go. It is I think it was Charizard EX versus a Mewtwo EX. And then after this round, we will have our finals. Oh, did I miss? My bad. My bad. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry, Aski. Okay. We're gonna have a pretty good setup on this turn one for Dracon. He does not have the energy advantage of going second, but he does get a Moltres all set up. This is going to mean his board is pretty strong. He's gonna be looking for Charmeleon next turn, Charizard that following turn, and Mojo Suko is gonna go on and have his Mewtwo EX in the active. Energy starting to be attached now, and a Ralts coming down to help start that evolution line. Dracon is going to decide to red card him and move some of those cards out of his hand, putting him back to 3. He's hoping he does not hit that Kirlia, that he does not hit that Gardevoir, but he does hit 2 heads, which are going to be able to help power up this Charmander. Those energies, though, are getting attached to the Moltres. The energies get attached to Moltres. Very interesting. So that Mewtwo is going to swing for 50 here into that Moltres, and he does get that Kirlia, meaning we could be as close as 1 turn away from the Gardevoir. We are, it looks like, retreating back now to this other Mewtwo EX. This Mewtwo EX has 3 energy on him. There's no other energy on the board, and he's decided to start swinging into Mewtwo EX now. That Gardevoir is going to come down, and that's going to be a game 1 for Mojosuko. I'm going to cover up real quick. Very fast. Very fast. This is definitely the problem about Charizard, is how it can just miss its pieces. But similarly, so could Mewtwo. So could Mewtwo. We're going to go on and get that game going for game 2 now. Game 2, we are going second this time, and maybe we'll have a better hand to start us out. We'll have to see. So we have our Moltres being played here. Moltres in the starting field, and Charmander down as well. This is a pretty good start for Dracon, even though he's going second. A second Moltres as well will protect against any Sabrinas that are trying to be defensive, and we'll see how it goes. That Mewtwo EX is on the bench now for Mojosuko. He does have that Ralts in the active. He's gonna have to start looking for those Charmeleons. He's gonna want to find those different Pokemon that could help him get set up. Okay. So now we are passing back here. We do actually finally get that Charmeleon. An energy for Mojo is attached to that Mewtwo EX. And we have started that evolution line for Dracon. Moltres EX is the second energy attached to it, and we are going to see another Inferno Dance, but... Yep, we're going to see another Inferno Dance. How many energies will he get? 1, 2, and 3 energies go onto that Charmeleon. That's going to be absolutely insane. Exactly what he wanted. What a great start for Dracon here. We have a second energy attached to that Mewtwo EX, but we won't see an attack unless an X speed comes down on to that Ralts. We did finally get that Kirlia, and we're seeing a red card now onto Dracon, who did not have a Charizard yet in hand. Ooh, ooh. That was a big oof of a red card, though, for Dracon. He has only, though, 3 energies attached to that Charizard. So he's going to need to keep powering up with this Moltres. We're going to see his research come down now. More cards are appearing. And we're going to see, it looks like, or I would not be surprised by, potentially, I guess, a knockout here onto this Ralts. That is going to be a knockout, and Ralts will be the first point for Dracon in his game 2. Keep hitting that button. So let's see here. Let's see. We're going to see another energy hand attached to that Charizard EX. And that Moltres is still in the active, being able to put pressure onto that Mewtwo. We see 70 damage onto this Kirlia now, unless, I mean, even if the Gardevoir appears, he's not going to have a knockout just yet. Mewtwo EX could knock out next turn, and we may see a retreat. We see a Sabrina instead. We're going to be putting up that old Amber that falls to most of any of the Pokemon, but it's a free retreat back for Dracon if they don't knock it out. They do have an X speed though, and that is going to be a knockout onto the old Amber, which not surprising since it's only 40 health. That's going to give Mojo his first point. And we are 1-1 in this set, in this match now. In this game. Charizard EX does appear. 200 damage into that Mewtwo is going to spell the end for game 2, and they'll be going into a game 3. I'm gonna cover up, let them get set up for game 3, and we'll get going, guys. I'm going to get them set up. I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit smaller since he has his hand covered. We can try to give it a little bit higher res. So let's see here. Okay, guys. Mojo is going first again this turn. He does have his Mewtwo EX in the active here, and he gets a second Mewtwo EX for the bench. Second Mewtwo EX for the bench. The Pokeball is going to come down now. That's going to pull another Moltres EX, though, for Dracon. Will he be able to find a Charmander? That's a huge question here. But that second Moltres does come down, and Amber is played. And we do decide to red card on turn 2 now. He's praying for no Kirlia in that red card. But we'll have to see exactly what happens. We're going to go to Inferno Dance back onto that Moltres on our bench and start setting up to start doing 70 damage into our opponent. Mojo is really going to be looking for a Kirlia here. Going to want to start finding that Gardevoir for that following turn. And he does have a research that's going to let him start digging into his deck. He does find a Kirlia as well. That attachment goes onto that Mewtwo in the active. We're going to have that Moltres be able to do, put more energy back on the Moltres on the bench. Still no Charmander, though, for Dracon. 1 energy gets attached. That is a second energy for that Moltres. Still no Charmander. And we are conceding game 3 right then and there. That means it's going to be a Mewtwo versus Mewtwo finals. Sephiro versus Mojo Suiko. Let me quickly pull up our metagame, guys. Give me one. Oh, that's not okay. Here we go. And we can really quick look at our finals as we get going. And there, wait. What? Is that a misclick? I'm confused. Did I like misunderstand what just happened? Guys, this is the finals here. This was them up here. Yeah. I'm very confused. 1 second. Isn't that what just happened on my stream? Isn't that what just happened on my stream? Like, right? We all agree, right? That Mojo just won the last one? That is what just happened on my stream, right? Okay, yeah, I'm not insane. Okay. Just wanna make sure. That I'm not insane. I was like very confused for a moment. Okay, all fixed. Yeah, we're gonna be going into the grand finals now. Yeah, I fixed it. Okay, let me get this going, guys. Nah, I think it was a misclick. I think it was a misclick. Click. I was just very confused for a moment. So I like zoned out for a second, kind of, and I was like, wait, did I like misunderstand what just happened on my own stream? Because I like swear I just watched that. Wait, what is happening? There it goes. I was like, what is happening on my stream again? Okay. Huh? Oh. Oh, I didn't realize that. My bad. Okay, let's transition over to our game now, guys. It is Mojo Suiko versus Sigfell here. And let's bring it up. It is Mewtwo versus Mewtwo. I believe both are playing the same list. Yeah, they're this. Wait, there is one difference. So Mojo is playing 2 Sabrina and 1 potion, and Sigfell is playing 2 potions, 1 Sabrina. That is the main difference between the two. Thank you so much, guys, for all the compliments. So yeah. Okay, so we are gonna go on and see these 2 set up. It is turn 1 inside of Sigfell, and Sigfell has a Mewtwo EX and a Ralts, and we'll be looking for those Curlias, that Gardevoirs. Same on the side of Mojo with that 120 health baby, though in the active to be able to tank against any of those hits from the Mewtwo EX. We are going to go on and see that energy attached to a benched Mewtwo EX from Mojo's side. But we are going to go on and start getting set up here on Sigfells. We potentially could see a Kirlia be evolved this turn. We're going to want to try to find that Gardevoir. And we do see that Kirlia here. That is going to be the start of game 1 here. Mewtwo EX on the bench is getting powered up. 2 energies. We will have to see, though, if he can find that Kirlia to start building up that support mon. Let's see. Sabrina is going to come down, it looks like, from Sigfell, which is going to force Mojo to put either that support mon or one of his Mewtwo's into the active. That extra Mewtwo EX is going to be able to do be dealt 50 damage here. And Gardevoir does appear now. That energy attachment onto the Gardevoir to potentially attack in the future. Let's see. That 50 damage goes into that Mewtwo EX. Mojo will not be able to make a Gardevoir just yet. Potentially a Kirlia, but that is as far as we are going to see here. This will probably be a first knockout, though, for Sigfell. The problem is, however, is that Mewtwo EX on the bench is going to be set up enough to swing back into this Pokemon and revenge KO it. And then what do we do? We're definitely in a little bit of a problem spot here. Mewtwo EX is only able to, will be able to be knocked out this next turn. Honestly, this is the power of that baby Mewtwo being presented here. We don't have another attacker that can swing back, but we are going to go and do that 150 into that Mewtwo EX. That bench Mewtwo is going to be able to revenge KO this turn. So what will they do? I would not red card here. We see that 150 revenge KO, and that is going to put Mojo at 2 points here. Sigfell is at 1. We have a Pokeball come down. A second Mewtwo does appear now. Could we see a retreat and knockout potentially from this Mewtwo EX? We could see a power up, but the problem is if we power up on the bench, it won't be enough to knock out next turn. Mojo will not be able to attack next turn. There is a Mewtwo that is now playing. He definitely had the ability to retreat there, but we're not seeing it just yet. Maybe Sigfell knows a play that we don't see. Sigfell has done a fantastic job with Mewtwo EX this tournament. There is a chance he sees a win con we just haven't seen yet. A win con that we just have not seen yet. That Psychic Sphere is going to come down here. That's going to be 50 damage onto this Gardevoir. Definitely sad to see. Here uses one of Sabrina. What will Gardevoir choose to do here, guys? And we are, it looks like, going to concede game 1. He did have the 2 X speeds in hand the turn before. So I was kind of surprised that he didn't retreat to the Mewtwo EX. He had the 2 X speeds in hand. He could have done it, potentially. So I was surprised to see he didn't. That being said, it's much easier to see win cons when you are watching versus when you're playing. But they did have both X speeds in hand. No, the game plan is would have retreated, and then no, the game plan would have been like retreated. You powered up with the Gardevoir, then the Mewtwo could only do and the hand attach. Then the Mewtwo would only be able to do 50, and then you could KO the next turn. Yeah, no, finals are nerve-wracking. Finals are nerve-wracking. But you do 50 the following turn, Misto, and he wouldn't have been able to do 50. Is how it would have played out. But there is like a lot of different things that could have happened still. Yeah, no, it happens to all of us. I'm not judging him or anything. As I said, it's easier to see a game plan easier to see a game plan as someone who is watching calmly than someone who, like, you know, who is in the middle of a tournament, you know, really nervous. No, he had Mewtwo already in hand. He had Mewtwo already in hand. He just didn't play it. So we are gonna see. We are on to turn 2. We already have this Kirlia made. Like, it's much easier to know what to do as someone who's watching than someone who is playing. It's just definitely a fact. I'm not saying anything against it. I'm just giving knowledge that it was there. So we do have that Mewtwo EX coming onto the bench here for Mojo. That was game 1 for Mojo Sueco, but we are into game 2 now. The energy attaches now onto that Mewtwo EX on the bench, 1 on that Mewtwo baby in the active, and now we're going to see exactly if Sigfel can remake that Gardevoir, and we do see a Gardevoir once again appear. So let's see here. Gardevoir is made immediately, and that energy attack does go on to that stage 2 support mon. We're gonna see a see this Mewtwo EX gonna do 50 damage, but that is all so far. So has been able to use both of his researches already. He's got a gigantic hand. Will he get that Kirlia? Sabrina is going to come down now, and we put up that Ralts. If we have an X speed, we can start to see 150 damage as early as this turn, though. While this looks very similar to game 1, the big difference is that because Mojo Sueco did not start with his Mewtwo EX, that first energy didn't go on to him, and he will only have 3 energies on Mewtwo EX as Sigfel knocks out the first mon and takes the first point. That 1 energy is going to change this game so much. Of course, Ralts can stall here, but what will that mean for the overall game? I'm pretty sure Sigfel went first in this game, by the way. Pretty sure Sigfel went first this game, to everyone who believes that going second means you win every single game. But, we are going to go ahead and finish up. We do need a Sabrina, though, because if we don't have a Sabrina, this is going to be a huge problem. We are once again now in that same position as game 1. Without that way to get that Mewtwo EX into the active, we're going to need another Pokemon to start setting up. I wouldn't be surprised if we just do the 50 attack here, and it looks like we may not even do that. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we only see the 50 damage attack this game to try to stall out Mojo's Pokemon here. If it doesn't get Gardevoir, that would mean that Mojo needs an X speed to get back to that 150 damage or 50 damage Mewtwo EX. Instead, we're going to switch to a baby Mewtwo ourselves and begin to repower up the Mewtwo EX on the bench. It does look like there will be a Gardevoir, though, and that does mean we can see 150 damage this turn. Without that extra energy on Mewtwo EX as well, Sigval will probably not be able to revenge KO whatever Mewtwo knocks him out, and we have a huge problem for Sigval, but it happens for sure. We're going to see that retreat with the X speed here. Mewtwo EX is going to be promoted to the active, and that's going to be 150 damage that this Mewtwo is going to swing into this baby Mewtwo. Sigval still can stall a turn, and that is very true with this Ralts here. Hopefully Mojo doesn't run into a Sabrina and see how it goes. We're going to try to stall with that Ralts now. 1 point for Mojo Sueco. I do believe Mojo is running 2 Sabrina this game. That means a higher chance of hitting it, but we're definitely going to worry. But we are going to switch back now. We could evolve to a Kirlia, which will mean he will not be able to KO that Pokemon just yet. We are hoping that that Mojo does not find a Sabrina. A Sabrina could spell the end, but with a second Kirlia, that Gardevoir could be evolving here. That Sabrina does come down. The question is do we think we can find a second Gardevoir? I don't know how many cards are in Sigfel's deck, but potentially we could top deck a Gardevoir here and still KO. We're going to need that Gardevoir here if we want a game 3. That is 0.2 for Mojo Sueco. Will we see that top deck Gardevoir? And that was not that card. I missed all. And we do not hit the Gardevoir. That's going to be game 2 for Mojo Sueco. Okay, guys. That is going to be Mojo Sueco. That's a big oof. Welcome in, Raiders. Peter, thank you so much for that raid. I'm having a fantastic day today. The 2 Sabrinas is Mojo Sueco. And that is going to be the end of our tournament, guys. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone here And really quick, let's check out that meta breakdown. You can see here exactly what happened, how we had this awesome game, awesome tournament. I am so proud of how all of our players played today. It has been so cool to watch so many of these opponents play against each other. For the record, even if he has it in hand, I still say he needs to top deck it and do that all throughout the tournament. Even if somebody has it in hand, I always say he's going to need to be able to find it. So it's not say it's not already in his hand when I say that. That being said, congratulations, Mojo. Congrats on your win. We are so happy to see your games. We're so excited to watch you play, and thank you so much for playing in our tournament today. I want to give a huge shout out to Mojo Sueco for playing in today's tournament, and yesterday's tournament, I guess, if you really, want to call it either. Guys, thank you so much for playing in this tournament. We are so excited how it went. He's excited. He's allowed to be happy. I assume that he can't, since he was not able to stream earlier either. But let's see here. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to see if we have any players from today who are still streaming. I think Dracon already logged off, so I'm just checking to see who all is streaming here. I'm gonna do all the shout outs 1 second. I'm just trying to see if I can find anyone who's still live. Do we have anybody who streamed today's games that's still live? I always like to raid someone when I do, like when I'm ending, to raid someone who streamed today. Oh, Koku Utan, I think. Actually, still playing? Let me check. That being said, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone here today. Guys, thank you so much for playing in our tournament. Huge shout out to Pikaverse is not in our tournament. So huge shout out to everyone who played in our tournament yesterday, who played in our top 32 today. And I am just so happy with how this turned out. I do want to give a huge shout out to everyone who's played in both days or one of the days. Thank you so much, Mojo, for showing us the games. Thank you so much for Sigfell for streaming the games. I really do appreciate both of those guys. Thank you so much for playing today and watching for playing in our tournament. For those of you who are watching, thank you so much for tuning in today, or if you tuned in yesterday. I am so appreciative. We also want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, XP Collect, who does so much for us, being willing to put in their 400 USD for the prize pool every single week. We do already have a tournament for next week up, but we are going to hard cap that tournament at 1,024. So if you want to sign up for the 400 USD prize pool tournament next week, you need to sign up now to go on and claim your spot. We will not be extending next week's tournament's cap. We had a bit of some hiccups with the tournament this week, and we want to make sure that those all come down and we're able to get them figured out. And with that being said, thank you so much for our judges. Everyone here, by the way, needs to give a huge shout out to our judges. Give a huge thank you to our judge team who is willing to put in the time during those tournament games and really help and support both the stream, the tournament, how it goes. I could not stream these games and broadcast these different rounds without our judge team. I am so appreciative to them. I'm so appreciative to our judge team, all of our players, our sponsor, and I want to give a huge shout out again to Mojo for that huge game. Absolutely awesome to see him take the tournament in the way that he did. With that being said, I am going to raid Olivo. He did get in our top 32, but I think he woke up too late. And he is in a different tournament, but he did make our top 32 today, so we are going to raid him. He did play both days. Really awesome deck that we watched him play in. So exciting to see how that played out. Again though, guys, if you want to follow our, if you are watching on Twitch, please make sure to follow us. Do also, if you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. I also will soon have the membership on YouTube. I officially have that. I just need to set it up. Guys, if you are watching, make sure you follow my different socials. I am super active on Twitter. I post pictures pretty often. I'm probably going to put a fit check from today on there later. We are also have YouTube that I'm trying to post on a lot more often. I'm going to post about this thing, and we do have our VODs on YouTube. That being said, if you want to know I'm going live, the best way to do that is by joining the Discord. We have a really awesome and active community that we'd love for you to be a part of. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I'm going to send us on over to Livo. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.